Do you know how to roll your R's?
Well, today we're going to talk about the two different types of R sounds in Spanish, how to roll your R's or do the trill sound, and a couple of exercises to help you practice. So you can do this.
Empecemos. Hola amigos, Jim and Mike here from Spanish & Go, your resource for real-world travel Spanish. Today, we're going to talk about the letter R in Spanish.
Yeah, and the R sound in Spanish isn't unique just to Spanish. You'll find it in other languages like Italian, but it's an important aspect of Spanish, and it can be a little tricky. You're not born with this ability to roll R's. In fact, some native Spanish speakers can't do it.
So first of all, let's talk about the two different sounds that letter R makes in Spanish. And one of them is a softer sound, the ere. As you can see, the sound ere, it's only a small tap of your tongue on your palate, like this. Ere. So there's a little bit of air coming out of your mouth between your tongue and your palate when you tap. Ere. Now the other sound, the more strong, the one that a lot of people think of whenever they think Spanish, is R. Now that's the one that's a little bit harder for people, but with practice you can get to produce this sound. R. As you can see, it's not just one tap. It's like a
trill.
A trill, yeah. It's R. And as you were saying, you're not born with it. You have to learn it. I learned it when I was little too. So you have to practice it, but you can get it.
So let's go back to the soft R sound and how to practice it. So basically, where you're going to put your tongue is the same place your tongue lands when you say the word better, for example. Your tongue taps that little ridge at the roof of your mouth, and that's where you're going to do the tap to do the soft R sound. Right, Mai?
Yes. Like you were saying, better. It's right there. Very soft, not a lot of air coming out.
So we're going to give you one of the easiest tongue twisters in Spanish. And I'm talking easy in terms of it's just two words, right? So these two words both use the soft R. Mai, can you demonstrate?
Yes. It is camarón, caramelo, camarón. Now this one's really fun because it's only two words. You can start slow and just say it in your head or out loud. Out loud is even better. And then you can go faster if you can. So you can go camarón, caramelo, caramelo, camarón, camarón, caramelo, caramelo, camarón. So you just go alternando the words. And it's a good practice because a lot of people, like when you first started noticing the differences between R and R, you would say camarón instead of camarón. So it's good to practice these words.
So shrimp, caramel, shrimp. So now let's talk about the trilled R. So the trilled R sound is a little bit more complicated than the soft R sound, but they're related. You're just going to bounce your tongue off of the roof of your mouth multiple times. That's all there is to it, really. Now, let's talk about some ways to go about doing that. One technique is to, again, find that place in your mouth where it's like day or better, where your tongue touches the roof of your mouth, that ridge point in your mouth. Now you're gonna gently press your tongue to the top of your mouth and let out some air. Now I'm gonna show you, it takes a little experimentation to figure out how to get it to work, but there's a couple techniques. If you are pressing too hard, you're going to get like a or like a sound. You're probably too far ahead, closer to your teeth with the tongue, and you're probably pressing too hard with the tongue to the roof of your mouth. Or if you're pressing not hard enough, you'll get a something like that. And there's too much air coming out. So you're gonna have to play with the pressure of your tongue on the roof of your mouth a little bit. But the pressure you're releasing is a little bit like a sigh, right, Mai? Mm-hmm. It's a little bit like a...
Yeah.
And so when your tongue is in the right spot, if you can let out that same amount of consistent pressure and do a... That's what you want.
Yeah, something that's worth mentioning is that this is a sound that happens all right here. I've heard a lot of people trying to do the R sound with their throat, and it's something else. That's like it sounds more like French. Mm-hmm. Do it here. It's all here in between your palate and the tip of your tongue. Mm-hmm. Really.
So that's technique number 1. If you have trouble rolling your R's with this first technique, and you're gonna have to practice a bit, but if you still can't get it, you're gonna wanna try this second technique. And we learned about this from another YouTuber. Her channel it's Alyssa, not Alyssa.
Mm-hmm. So with her technique, you're gonna wanna use a word that has the R sound in the middle. For example, the word perro in Spanish, dog. So you have perro. You notice there's double R right there. You're going to separate it right between those two R's, and you're gonna have 2 syllables. One of them is gonna be per with the soft R, and then ro. Per, ro. And now you're gonna wanna separate any word like that you can't say with the R, and just imagine that you have 2 soft R's, one at the end of the first syllable, one at the beginning of the second syllable. And then just practice the word separated in those 2 syllables and go per, ro, instead of perro, because you can't, right? So when you practice, she was saying that it's like your brain gets tired of separating words in 2 syllables, and then it's almost like magic, I guess, that your brain is like, okay, let's do this quick. And so instead of doing 2 soft taps, it's gonna want to do more like a trill instead of perro. Eventually, it's gonna be perro.
Right. And don't get discouraged if this doesn't happen right away. It's probably not going to happen overnight, but just keep practicing and you'll get it. But the distinction is important because there are all kinds of words in Spanish where the soft R sound and the double R sound will completely change the meaning of the word that you're saying.
Exactly, yeah. So just like the word we were using, perro, it means dog when you say it with the R sound. But if you say pero with the soft R, it means butt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or with carro, you could be talking about a car, or caro would be expensive. So it's important to take the time to be able to make the soft R sound and the trilled R sound. So let's give you an example that you can use to practice the trill sound. This is another tongue twister using the trilled R, the R sound. R con R cigarro, R con R barril. Rápido ruedan las ruedas del ferrocarril. Now you say it fast, Mai.
R con R cigarro, R con R barril, rápido ruedan las ruedas del ferrocarril.
Así es.
Yes. So this is great. This is, I think this is the only thing you used when you started learning how to roll your R's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember telling you about this tongue twister, and then you practiced and practiced and practiced, and eventually it happened. Yeah. But you have to practice.
Right. Yeah, I would practice on my motorcycle. I'd practice when no one was around. I would practice in front of Mai to show her how I was doing, and eventually it just becomes much more natural. You just have to do it over and over again. So that's all there is to it, guys. Let us know if you have any other tips for rolling your R in the comments, if these techniques helped, which one helped you the most, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel and Spanish tips.
And remember, el camino es el destino.
The journey is the destination. Nos vemos pronto.
Adiós.